Hi Stampin' friends, it's Chris Slogar from BuckeyeInklings.com, and today I want to show you how to make this really fun interactive flip flap card. When you pull on the mechanism to the right, the panel opens and you have another image inside, or you can have a message inside. But I thought this was really fun for our Monster Bash suite that's in this year's holiday catalog, pages 52 through 54. We'll use the stamp set Spooktacular Bash and of course this great Monster Bash designer series paper. Okay, let's get started. It is on a regular card base. As you can see, the basic black opens up and reveals an inner panel. So we'll start with that. I have basic black 5.5 by 8.5 scored at 4 1/4. And then I have a piece of Whisper White. I've already stamped that greeting on the inside. This measures 4 by 5 1/4. And then the front pieces are Pumpkin Pie, 3 3/4 by 5. And the designer paper, 3.5 by 4 3/4. So let's set that designer paper aside for a second, but we can put the other pieces in place. Okay, the inside is going to be like so. And then the pumpkin pie will just center on the front of the card. And then we will be building up the designer paper piece with the mechanism and popping that up later. Okay, so let's set that card base aside. For the designer paper, we need to make a slot here for our little pull tab, and we will do that with the classic label punch. Okay, so I'm just going to push in from the right, and I'm going to push that punch in as far as it goes, and it doesn't matter too much where you are. I'm just trying to be on the upper portion of the paper because I'm going to have this greeting down here. So again, I'm pushing that punch all the way in to the paper, and I'm going to punch. Okay, and there's our spot for the slider piece. Now the slider piece is basic black, and it starts as a 2" by 5 7/8" piece of basic black, and it's scored at 2 2 3/8. Okay, so I've got those burnished already, and then you'll see that that slips right in there when we go to assemble. So the long end of the pool piece, I'm going to punch with the scallop tag topper. Okay, so I'm pushing that all the way in, and I'm going to punch that. And then I'll start assembling pieces to this slider. Okay, I've punched already, or I'm sorry, die cut already 2 of the stitch squares. These are the largest 2 stitch squares. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to open up. Okay, this is how the mechanism will be in place, but I'm going to open that up, and on this square end of that pull piece, I'm going to add adhesive. And we are going to take the smaller of the 2 stitch squares and put that in place on that square. And this left side is going to match right up to that first score line, okay? So we'll just line that up with the score line, kind of center it in this direction, and put that down in place. Okay, and then the next, the largest square, we will just attach right along this scored section that's kind of like a just a 3/8" wide strip. So let me get some tear and tape and put that down just between the score lines. And then I'm going to take that larger square and put that in place over that score tape, over the tear and tape, and line up the left side with the score line, and I'm centering it again vertically along the pull piece. Okay, so that actually covers up the first square. All right. Now you can see when this is in place and it's all closed up, when you pull on this, that will affect the top flap, and that will open it up. Okay, so that will slip into the slot here, and then we just want to attach, if you unfold the entire assembly, so we're on the back of that stitch square and on the back of where it's attached to the pull piece, I'm also adding a piece of tear and tape right along that edge, okay? So just on the back of the smaller square. That will be the only attachment we have to the designer paper. And let's go ahead and put that in place already. So we are sliding the longer end into the slot, and then this will be the only attachment to the card front. And what we're going to do, I'm kind of holding that together, and I want to center my squares on the designer paper here, and then I'll press that down. Okay, so that is attached now, and you can see when I pull on the pull piece, the flap opens. Okay, now on the back, we are going to pop this up with dimensionals, and I'm going to use quite a few. I want this to be raised up off the card, and I want there to be enough room for the motion of the pull piece. So I want this to be raised, this whole layer raised nicely with all the dimensionals. And you can hear that snore. My dog is right under my table. He is snoring so loud. All right, so I am going to, again, you can see I've not gotten in the way of this pull piece that needs to be free to move, but I have all those dimensionals in place, and I'm going to line this up, center it on the front of my card, and press it down into place. Okay, and there's our little pull piece and mechanism. And then I've already pre-made, these great ornate frames are so pretty from this Halloween Monster Bash suite. I am going to put them in place already. This is on soft suede, and I'll put those in place. I've got one on the outside of the card. Now, if you weren't doing this set, you might also think of doing, you know, like an image and then a message hidden inside, or two messages, like the beginning and the end of a message. But I love these little monster guys on this card. Okay, and I've got a vampire already colored, stamped, and cut out for the front, and a mummy for the inside. I'm just going to put him flat so he doesn't get in the way of the closed piece. Okay, you could probably put those pieces in place before you assemble too, if that's easier. Okay, and then I'm just going to finish it off. I've got a little creepy stamped and cut out with the framelit from that set. Going to just put that down below my vampire. Oh, and on the pull piece, I didn't want anything too bulky over here. So we have this great black ribbon, also a part of that suite. It's scalloped edge ribbon. And I'm just going to thread it through my scalloped end, and just to make it easier to pull, I'll have that ribbon sticking out there. I'm going to put a glue dot on the top to stick the top layer down, and on the underside to stick the lower edge down, and then I will trim that up a bit. I think that's a little too long there. But there you have, maybe just a little shorter. Okay, that's perfect. There you have that little pull tab so that you can open the flap. All right, super cute. I hope you'll give that a try, whether or not you use the Halloween stuff or not. This is a really fun card type. Okay, thanks so much. Visit me at buckeyeinklings.com for more ideas and online shopping. Have a great day.